Bye. Let's do it. And the ancestors are looking out for us. God Hayes is exposing them, man.
Okay, you see that chair right there? See how big it is?
Yeah.
Now look at the Pope chair under it. Scroll down, look at the Pope chair under it.
Never have it been made so clear.
Young TV. Young.
We running the game right now.
Young TV.
Time to take over.
Young
We the hottest in the game. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you're just not tuned in.
TV.
Share, like on your Instagram, Facebook.
Young TV.
If you tuned in, we broadcasting live from 2030, baby.
Young TV. Young
Taking over the game, baby. Oh yeah.
Young TV.
Hit that like.
Young TV.
Get them likes up in the air, you heard me?
Young TV.
Ride by. Hotel Islam.
Young TV.
Assalamu alaikum. Flow letter. Peace.
Young TV.
Hit that like.
Get them in here. You don't want to miss this. We're going to be talking about is Cointelpro in hip hop. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. As we were saying on Instagram, man, Cointelpro is in hip hop, and especially in hip hop because these guys they get the money. They making like 10,000 in there between 500,000 a show. Outkast is making $1 million a show. Right? You wonder why them boys ain't got to put nothing out really. You know what I'm saying? No more. Because they got enough money off them shows, right? So they getting all this money. And keep in mind the killer clowns, they watch the money. Their job is the money to money. That's why when people do certain things like counterfeit and things like that, the killer clowns step in. Or when they get money without the killer clowns getting their cut and their percentage. Right? So if you're going around, if you don't pay your tax to them, to these killer clowns, then they feel like you infringing because they own the money, these killer clowns. And for you people that's not familiar with the killer clowns is the Cointelpro, the Shriners, the FBI. They all one and the same, which now is de facto to Homeland Security, right? So like I was telling the people earlier, I didn't get arrested by the hip hop police. They actually called the local police to arrest me, but the hip hop police pulled me over. Like I said, I used to be in the industry. My brother, he was, and he would get out, by the way, on the 26th of this month, and we're gonna get back cracking on what we was doing with the movies and stuff, you know. But one day I was with them, her, and his homeboy Hurricane Chris. Hurricane Chris had blew up real big with the ringtones and things. He worked about $6 million then. He probably like about 20 years old. Had about $6 million. So you gonna imagine how he was moving around. He was moving around if he ain't stay still. And then too, I noticed when you get a certain amount of money or you got that fame like that, people follow you around. So I noticed that when we was with him, everybody that was around, when he moved, they moved with him, you know, like an entourage. You know what I'm saying? So like when he said he ready to go, everybody going. Everybody ready to go. It's like he was like they was following him like some Like he was some kind of, he was hot and famous then with the A Bay Bay song and all that. And but I was following them because I was producing, making beats and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I was letting them hear some of my beats, so you get on some of my beats. And keep in mind, this shit go way back because I remember when Hurricane used to come over my house because I was the first one to have a studio, like to be able to work a studio. Like I had the real deal shit in my apartment. And so everybody was looking for a place to record, and I was doing niggas for free. I wasn't even charging. And so they was coming to my spot, all the hot people in my city. And then on the, ain't no coincidence that on the street that I live on, the street that I grew up on, right? At least three people went to the NBA off that street. One of them name is Scroll Mile Swift, right? Scroll Mile Swift. He was lived on my street. Then it was another dude named Josh Porter. He went to the NBA. Then it was another. It was a girl named. Well, it was two girls. One of them name was Elena Beard. She went to Duke and then ended up going to the WNBA. So it's like, a lot of people off my street was big timers. Even when I like, as I grew up, and then when I went to Dallas, like I say, I was hanging around all the guys you see now that's big in Dallas. I knew all these guys, like Yellow Beezy, Trap Boy Freddy. That name, some people be making their name up and they be having saying they do this and that. Well, Trap Boy Freddy, his name really is what it is. I'm telling you, I know this for a fact. I know this for a fact. Trap Boy Freddy really is a trap boy. Before they start rapping, he was already on like over there. You know what I'm saying, at Oak Cliff and things. But Mo 3 now, on the other hand, Mo 3 was homeless. Mo 3 was homeless in Stony Vista in North Dallas. I used to give him CDs. I used to print up probably like about 100 CDs of my rap albums that I had, my brother's shit, DVDs that we was doing, and I used to give these guys DVDs to sell. Tell them, look, okay, just bring me, cause I can print 50 of them up for probably like about $30 or $40, and then so I just tell them bring me like they bring me by $50 back, so I make $10 off of it. But whatever you sell them for, that's on you. So them boys over there selling them $5 a piece, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And the rap shit that we was doing in the videos or whatever, right? And that's how they was getting money. But then it took Mo 3 a long time to blow up, man, because he had put a song out a long time ago that was hot off this Mr. Lucci beat. You know what I'm saying? And I remember when he put that out, he still was sleeping in the car. He still was sleeping outside the Stony Vista apartments in an old school car with rims on it. Yeah, it's like his partner, somebody car. Uh, but I'm speeding up to the point that uh, even dealing with the Mo 3 thing, even though we knew it was a beef between them boys used to run together, really. But then they started beefing. But Cointelpro was watching that because there was a lot of murders going on. And once so many murders get in, these killer clowns step in because now you're messing with their money, right? So, but speeding up to that, we had to jump into Dallas. So Hurricane, when he came from Louisiana to come to Dallas to record, we had these two producers named Playing Skills. And so we used to go to that studio, boom, we pull up on them. And to make a long story short, really though, we rode around all day to different studios and things. And we end up going back to Hope to a hotel, to Hilton's Inn, the Hiltons. And was going back to meet up with these girls or whatever. And I'm driving like I got a white Subaru that I had paid $600 for. And I'm driving this behind him, but one of the lights out, the tail lights out, right? I can't remember if I knew it was out or not, but that's why they said they pulled me over for the tail light. But the people that pulled me over was an unmarked white car, plain clothes dude. But he had like a badge and a gun, but he was like dressed like a fucking agent. You know what I'm saying? And he had a plain Malibu, all white, darked out windows and shit with no writing on it. No writing on it, right? And so this nigga sat there for like 2 hours running my name. Like I don't know what the fuck he was doing, running the background check. I guess the reason why they pulled us over, I thought about it after. The reason why they pulled us over is because we riding around and looked like a stolen car because that car was raggedy as hell. That Subaru I had, that bitch ride like a motherfucker. I'm telling you, I could put $20 worth of gas and drive to California and to Texas, and then California to Texas again. Man, gas mileage is crazy in that Subaru, right? But like I said, I paid $600 for my old lady who took care of it. So that bitch was in. It was an old car, but it was legit. But the tail light was out, and that's why they said they initially pulled me over. So we sat there for a while. They ran my name and came back that I had a seatbelt ticket in a whole nother county, like towards Houston. And so they called Dallas to arrest me, Dallas police to arrest me. I'm saying, damn, why is this nigga pulled us over? Who the fuck is he? Why he ain't taking me? Why he ain't arresting me? Why he got to call Dallas PD to arrest me? But I ain't put it together then. I just thought it was like some kind of drug unit or something in Dallas or some kind of secret unit, agent unit in Dallas. But why the fuck would an unmarked car pull us over, right? Because they I already know that they was watching us because of another dude that I know named HB who rap too. And like I say, Trap Boy and them Freddie and them boys be really trapping over there. So when them boys be going to the club and be stunned and pulling out all that money, I be seeing white people in the crowd. And I'm saying to myself, I know these white people don't supposed to be in this type of environment. They agents. But the whole time them boys watching them boys. So it's big because a lot of people are getting a lot of money on the streets in Dallas. But speeding it up, yeah, the hip hop police, the Cointelpro, whoever these guys are, pulled me over and got Dallas police to take me to jail. Kind of find out when I got to jail about a day or two later, uh, Hurricane said that these guys are hip hop police, and they follow them around and take pictures of them. And everywhere they go, they when they get money, when they go to the bank, anything they do, they being watched 24 hours a day, right? These people. And so what they're looking for is to find some kind of leverage or information on these rappers so that they can use, if need be, to pretty much shut them down, discredit them, whatever, if they just so happen, because they got once they make you famous and put you on their platform, now you got millions of people following you, right? Now, just what so happen if you turn and say, "Oh shit, you know what? I forgot. We Washita, Dr. Sabi, just like Nipsey Hussle did, or Tupac. See, they've been watching him since he was born. They've been watching him since he was in his mother's womb. Tupac, you know what I'm saying? They watched him since he was in his mother's womb, man. His mother has got run-ins with the Killer Clowns. She was part of the Black Panthers, right? So uh, they watch these people 24 hours a day because you got a certain amount of money and you got influence. That means you could all of a sudden change the whole narrative at any time. Like if Lil Baby or anybody that got all these followers, Drake, anybody was to turn on the devil and go, they probably eventually do them like they did Kanye West. Kanye West did it, tried to do it, right? And he trying to save face, but Kanye West eventually he said that he was gonna do it. He said, "La la la, wait till I get my money right." He's gonna turn on the whole time, right? But they try to step in, clone the boy, do all kind of stuff to him, mind control him, and then make clones to humiliate him in the public. All these different things. These people are high level. You see what I'm saying? So Kanye West is being watched. All these guys were being watched 24 hours a day. Uh, Now on the cover you see Dame Dash, Jay Prince out of Houston, and Suge Knight and Irv Gotti. Now, all of you familiar with them coming together a while back to set up a distribution label? And then as soon as they got a chance to do that, was about to do that, supposedly Jay-Z ran and told somebody, probably the Killer Clowns, you know what I'm saying? And then all the JDL, or these dark guys that hide up in New Jersey and upstate New York and in Utah, calling themselves the Mormons, right? He hide out. I mean, he went and told these guys, And then all of a sudden, boom, all them guys get raided by the Killer Clowns. Herb Gotti got raided by the Killer Clowns. Uh, Dame Dash and Suge. You see what they at? Like, there's no more Rockefeller. And Dame Dash has got to go on regular podcasts just to keep him some bread going. You know what I'm saying? But shout out Dame though for keeping it. He a real one. Dame a real one. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Dame a real one. He gonna speak. You know what I'm saying? He gonna speak when he gonna speak. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but Suge Knight, he get took down. They frame him for a whole bunch of shit, right? Say he did this or that, get him locked up. Herb Gotti, they shut his old operation down. Murder Inc. You ain't heard nothing from Ja Rule, Ashanti, all them. They was part of that label. All of a sudden they get shut down. Uh, and then Jay Prince, right? Jay Prince was the only one that kind of came out kind of like unscathed a little bit, but they did use several tactics. That's what I want to get into. Okay, so if you read Jay Prince's book, I got his book. So people, oh wait, he's supporting Jay Prince. Man, you gotta study. You gotta go do more research on Jay Prince before you just go out and say that he a bad guy. He might be, you know what I'm saying? This is his book right here. You know what I'm saying? The Art of Respect. Right? He talk about how the feds, the Killer Clowns, come after him in this book. I read the whole book because the book is a good book. And it's like the way he tells the story is just keep want to read it, right? It's where he write. Yeah, so but he goes in to say that they put an agent shoemaker or Schumacher, that maybe his name, on him in Houston, and pretty much they were trying to create entrapment and pretty much frame Jay Prince. And so what they would do is when the people would leave Rap A Lot Records, these Killer Clowns would get behind them and pull them over and plant drugs on them. Or say, "Oh, look what we got here," and they pulling out drugs, saying that we got this off this guy out the car and taking him to jail for crack and other different guns and things. Cause they run background checks on all these people that coming. Jay was running with. They got keep in mind Jay Prince is a sort of type of like a guardian in Houston. He owned a whole project complex. He went and bought the whole third ward, I think, fifth ward, I think that's what it is, and gave people free rent. When people get out of jail, he gave them a job. So like you don't want to. Jay Prince got from all the criminals, for lack of a better word, in that in Houston, they like look at Jay Prince like a god. So like so he got like a lot of influence in Houston. But the main thing they was up to him about is pretty much hooking up with that 4-piece, like I was talking about, to create that distribution label. And they even tried to kill this dude. They know he ride around with guns. He got a whole bunch of cattle, got 1,000 acres. Remember, almost talking about them 1,000 acres. If you get 1,000 acres now, you can set up your own country almost with 1,000 acres. So he got like 1,000 acres down in Houston, and they looking at all that. They try to set this man up numerous times. They try to get him, try to frame him with the mayor. They try to get him. The Cointelpro was watching him at church, try to take pictures of him. He talk about all this in his book. Try to get him to shake hands with certain drug lords. They try to even the Cointelpro hire informants to go shake hands with him just so they could take a picture of him and say, "See, we got him in the picture with this guy. That proves that he's connected with some kind of drug operation." They was doing him like that, and they couldn't. This dude was so crafty and so smooth, they can't catch up with him like that because he ain't really doing that really. But they try to frame him, because they do this thing. Try to frame him, try to set him up so they can lock him up just like they did all the rest, so they can shut Rap A Lot down just like they did all the rest of the organizations that try to do this, completely wipe them out. Yeah, but they end up, if Jay go on to say, they end up pulling him over one night in his, I think he was in his prowler. He got like 2 guns on the floor, but he was smart. He always like Big Meech had some guys trailing him. And keep in mind, Jay Prince, this is another connection because the universe just said, make sure you say this. Keep in mind, Jay Prince was going to visit Larry Hoover in Florence, Colorado. prison. So that's another thing. He was busy because he got like some quotes from Larry Hoover in his book, right? Like the real gangsters to get together all over this nation. Uh, not the regular niggas, but the real street niggas, the real gangsters, niggas that call themselves gangsters, right? Uh, yeah, so you got to keep in mind, and Bob's in that same prison, influence, Colorado. So it's a connection there between Prince being able to go visit him. That's interesting because if you can go visit somebody in Florence, you gotta have some pull, or you gotta be able to kill the clowns. That's the only way. But if the killer clowns tried to kill him, you know, that's another thing too. So uh and then Jay got a lot of people behind him, even big people that's up high that's behind him that owe him favors and things. Because Jay moved like the mob. Jay create favors. The mob, you gotta remember when they came to the Godfather to ask him for the favors, he always say, well, I might not need nothing right now, but something might come down long later and you owe me a favor. So that's how Jay worked. He worked like Bumpy worked with the favors, and how the mob was doing it, right, with the favors. So that's how he got a lot of he get out a lot of shit, be able to cover up a lot of shit because of that type of connections, those connections that he got with the favors. You know what I'm saying? Jay a smart dude, man. You read his book, you could tell how he came up. He got a different type of mind. That's why he's got money like he got. He got a whole island in Brazil. Uh, but I ain't just praising the guy. I'm just saying I'm getting to the part about the Cointelpro in Hip Hop and his pictures on the cover. So, but what I'm saying is I like Jay. You know what I'm saying? I think Jay is a stand up guy. You know, but what I'm saying is the Cointelpro tried to kill him that night, and he said if he would have pulled up in they was trying to get him to pull up in this McDonald's to where they were gonna snipe him out of this car. They had a certain type of setup in this Cutlass with the windows in the trunk made a certain way where they were gonna shoot him through the trunk and then make it look like he tried to get into a shootout with the police. But what he did is he ended up pulling over to this gas station where all the lights and cameras was out there, and so that called him off. Then once he found out that damn this same dude Shoemaker's on me, so he put a private investigator to investigate Shoemaker, who was working for the Killer Clowns. Come to find out, Shoemaker they killed like 5 or 6 people already. He's a rogue police that now de facto into with the Killer Clowns, and they using him as pretty much like a hitman to go around taking out certain people that they got on their list, and they had Jay on that list until Jay flew his plane out to I think DC and spoke with the somebody at the FBI, told him that hey man, this guy Shoemaker's a rogue agent. Pretty much gave him a whole layout from his private investigator and all that. To make a long story short, to say hey man, I think Jay told him he said hey man, you got a guy that's rogue out here trying to take me out, but just don't be mad if I come out on top. That's what he told him. No, because now I told you this guy trying to take me out. My people ain't gonna stand for it in Houston. If you say you try to take out Jay, you gone in less than 2 hours. If you serious in Houston, if you in Houston, you say that, yeah, they pulling up on you. I used to live in Houston too. Yeah, so but like I said, they came down on Jay. They came down on anybody. You see Young Thug is in there for Rico. And Young Thug must did somewhere along the line, because I know he was in with him. He wearing dresses and things. I know he was there with this they movement. So what would make them come out to him, the Killer Clowns, is probably when, like I told everybody else earlier, Young Thug bought some land. I can't remember how many acres. It might have been 400 acres, something like that. Right before all this shit went down. Remember, he bought some land and they was on camera, and he said, "Man, I'm gonna build a whole neighborhood for my people." Right? You got to start looking at that. When he bought that land, boom! Now all of a sudden he going down with a Rico. Could it be the Killer Clowns wanted to stop him from doing some kind of movement? Because that YSL shit, You got to look at it like I say. You rappers, they ride around. You got $1 million. You being monitored 24 hours a day. Somebody's watching you. They always follow people 2 car links behind. Well, not 2 car links, 2 blocks, 1 to 2 blocks, and they watch you and get and study you everywhere you go. Just like they did Malcolm X. Malcolm X went to Egypt. They was over there taking pictures of him. And once you go out of country, and they're doing some of these rappers when they go out of country. When you go out of country, they put the knights on you. So they got the killer clowns, the bishops on you when you in town. Then when you get on that, use that passport, and I hear everybody talking about a passport. Like they got something. Like yeah, a passport is cool. You got something when you got I got my passport stamped up, man. You still a slave. Because if you need a passport to get out of here, what did that tell you? I'm telling you, man, you belong to somebody. Because a passport is a license. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, because you gotta sign that shit and you gotta put your picture on it and all that. But we natives. We get into that on another tape, but we still like say we're going into the hip hop police. But like I said, I got arrested I didn't get arrested by actual hip hop police. I got pulled over by them and then got arrested by the locals. Right? And like when you get arrested for a ticket, they take you to jail, right? And then say if it's in another county, within 24 hours, if they don't come pick you up, or some places 72 hours, if they don't come pick you up, they got to let you go. Well, at this place, they waited to the last minute to come pick me up from 2 hours away. The place was 2 hours away from where they arrested, where I had the ticket at. These people drove 2 hours at the last minute to pick me up and take me out there so they can put me in jail for long. So I think I've been up in jail for almost 2 days for a goddamn seatbelt ticket, right? And that was a racist county because you just looking at my car to pull me over for a seatbelt. And then I actually had the seatbelt on when the nigga walked up because I snapped it on, right? They said, "Oh yeah, just want to be." I tried. What really made him write me the ticket is I gave him a fucking hard time, really, because I was in that more science shit. And I tried to hit him. I was hitting him with, "Hey man, well nah, I ain't got no license or whatever. Or I got license, but I ain't showing them." And I'm hitting him with that 3 times. Then I say, "Hey, well now I'm giving you these license under threat coercion." I'm hitting him with that shit. So he getting frustrated, irritated. He fucker, he gonna write me a ticket for something, and wrote me a ticket anyway. That's what happened with this. That's why I ended up getting a ticket. But sometimes you can just be nice to these motherfuckers. They'll let you go. So I don't pull my more science shit every time somebody pull me over, right? Sometimes I just go and be nice and see how far they, kind of read them a little bit and see how they gonna do. Because some of these motherfuckers are just use this intimidation tactic and start to threaten you. You know what I'm saying? Start reaching for their gun, making you want to bust your window out, all this other shit. Well, you don't got to go through that. You got to be calm and see where their head is at sometime. And then if you got to, go ahead and then sign a ticket and then mark a line to your autograph. Or sign that shit in all caps, then mark a line through it. Or put UCC-1308. Oh yeah, well, we can get into that too. But Cointelpro, so they monitor with Nipsey Hussle. If you study the Cointelpro profile, they got they was watching Nipsey Hussle the whole time, especially after he mentioned Dr. Sabi. T.I. from Chile, Left Eye from TLC, right? She went down to visit Dr. Sabi. You remember that? And all of a sudden she come back, her car crash and go off the road and flip over, and she the only one that died. Actually, she didn't die in the car crash. I believe they snuffed her out at the hospital. And you already know what happened to Dr. Sabi, right? So you got to think about that. So hip hop police was watching Left Eye, watching the TLC girls and the Left Eye girl. And like I say, we believe they pretty much put out of business because you got to think about it. If she would have came back and started promoting Dr. Sabi back then with the medicines and shit that they had, it would have been bad for business. These boys making $70 billion a year. Putting up $10 million on somebody ain't nothing but a drop in the bucket to get rid of you. And everybody and their dog and their mama I'll be looking for you for $10 million now, wouldn't it? You know what I'm saying? Everybody, they dog, want a piece of you for $10 million. And they ain't gonna be but a sweat for them because they make 700 billion off of the drug industry, the pharmacies and all that. So they couldn't let Nipsey Hussle had millions of followers. That's the influence. Keep in mind they got these killer clowns, got a prison called Influence, Colorado. Where Bob at, where Larry's at, where Jeff Fort is at. That's a correction because I was saying Jeff Ford, but his name is Jeff Fort, right? So that's the correction, right? We're gonna get into that. We got the reason why I'm doing this class too is just to buy more time to finish the part 4, Killer Clowns Exposed, where I'm gonna go into more in depth on what happened to Jeff and all them, you know what I'm saying, and Larry and them. Jeff and them got bad jacketed. They really was doing the more science and that's the two things that the killer clowns don't want you dealing with. They don't want you dealing with the Hebrew and keeping the commandments of God, the laws of God. They don't want you doing that. They don't want because they're gonna shut down their whole operation. The devil's operation. That's the number 2 thing on the list. Number 1 thing they don't want you saying is you Israelites, you Moors, you Washita. They don't want you saying none of them, especially the word Moor. They really roll them hard. Roar, Washita, Muskogee. Them words roll them hard. And then, like I said, number 2 thing is they don't want you saying you Israelite and that you keeping the commandments of God, that you doing that type of, like today is the Sabbath, right? Shout out to my Hebrews. They don't want you keeping them commandments, even though a lot of you niggas might disagree and say, oh, yeah, he religious and all that. No, I'm telling you, what them commandments do is it shut the devil down in a certain type of way, in a certain type of light. It takes his power. So they don't want you doing those 2 things. That's what the killer clowns is all out to stop. So if you got an organization that's a Hebrew Israelite organization where you tell the people to keep the commandments, and then they're gonna infiltrate that, and they're gonna try to sabotage that. If you got a organization where you talking about the more science or trying to build a military type structure like the Black Panthers, they're gonna infiltrate that and they're gonna try to sabotage that and create espionage. And keep in mind, another aspect of the Hebrews is they kind of like a mixture of all that, like a mixture of because they kind of militant when they go out and march in all these numbers. Now we can get into the Nation of Islam doing the same thing with all the numbers, right? With the FOI. And it's a lot of stuff that's coming as we do more research and digging. It's a lot of stuff coming out about the Nation of Islam that suspect them to be in connection with being set up by the group of beings called the Jesuits. We got tapes, man, like the shit they're about to put out. We just don't let people see information and then they just make the judge for themselves. About Farad Muhammad meeting up with the killer clowns. Because you got to think about it. Farad Muhammad was with Noble Jew Ali, right? And then in 1929, when Noble Jew Ali get took out, Farad Muhammad breaks out from that same clan and starts his own clan. From the Moor Science Temple, starts his own clan. They call him the Nation of Islam. Meanwhile, some stuff happened where a guy get killed. I think it was like a race crime or something. And then they arrest Farad Muhammad. And he has several other names that they mentioned, like David, several other names. We're gonna get into that on the. I don't want to go too much into it because we're gonna get into it on the Killer Clowns Exposed Part 4. I got a picture. Supposedly, this is a picture of. And I'm gonna show it on the video of Noble Jew Ali and Master Farad Muhammad as little boys, as if they was raised as Master Farad Muhammad was like some kind of adopted kid, just like an orphanage, just like they both was orphans or something. It's like I don't know what I'm not saying all this is for show. I'm just saying based on looking at the picture and it says they're damn both of them were kids at this same orphanage or whatever the orphanage this was. They both came up together, seemed like. But we're gonna get more into that, like I say on part 4. Not to mention the guy Pinto and the guy that taught Malcolm X in jail and the guy Master Farad Muhammad, they all look alike. Like they look like Venerians, all of them. So it's some weird shit. We're gonna get into more of that, like I say, on Killer Clowns Exposed. We really going into the hip hop police. Now, like I say, Young Thug bought that land. So that might be a part of them wanting to take him down. Cause I know he was down with him. He wore dresses and shit. He with the move, the feminizing move, or he called himself a young thug. Like Tupac, man, Tupac probably taking his phone if when he's still alive in Cuba, wherever they say he is. If he watched nigga named Young Thug with a dress on, he probably take his phone and crash it on the ground. That ain't what thugs is about. That ain't what thugging is about. Thugging ain't about wearing no dress. You ain't never seen no thugs with no dress. You got to be crazy. Don't even call yourself no thug. You know what I'm saying? But because of Young Thug is created because of Tupac, right? Young Thug is created because of Tupac. Because Tupac was so hard and so aggressive and so what's the word, masculine, right? They had to feminize these killer clowns had to feminize this because the mentality was, nigga, I'm hard. And Tupac shot police officers, two cops. Tupac shot two cops. And he shot two cops that were messing with another guy, I think. He was riding down the street in his limo with his scrap. He just chilling. He look out his window in like an alley or something. See two cops harassing this guy, right? Tupac get out. Hey man, why y'all messing with this guy? Right? And they say, hey, mind your business, mind your business, get back in your car. And we think that it could have been to set Tupac up to kill him, right? Because how they had a gun, because Tupac ended up beating the case. How Tupac ended up beating the case on killing two. I don't know if he killed him or shot him. I can't remember if he killed him or shot him. But I know he shot him, but I can't remember if they died or not. But he beat the case because the two cops, they had stole guns from the evidence locker. Cointelpro. Like I say, Cointelpro. And Tupac got off that shit. And so they hated Tupac because he shot two police and got away with it. You know what I'm saying? That man, Tupac was making a bad list. He building up a list for them boys not like him. Cointelpro operations. And they monitor them boys 24/7. Snoop Dogg, all of them. And they got dirt on Snoop. He got caught with that murder case they gave me. They tried to set him up with the on that part. Hey, you back? Man, they got two screens on that. Look at it. I'm sure. There we go. Yeah, so everybody that's listening that's in the industry, if you got over $1 million, you being watched. How did they caught up with Roscoe? What's that dude named? Rollo. Rollo tried to move a whole bunch of pounds back on a private jet. Right? Some people say with what's the sentence for that with the killer clowns? Rollo had a whole apartment complex down here where he invited all his own boys to live in there. And they pretty much was trapping out that mud like it wasn't nothing, making $2 million a week. Right? I'm telling you, down here in Atlanta. The dude Rollo. Now he out now and he turned Muslim. Remember, Faye said he on that little baby letter to little baby said Rollo turned Muslim. You should he was advising little baby to do the same, right? So, he turned Muslim and changed his life around. Everybody go to jail and become a Muslim. Seem like, you know what I'm saying? It's the best route for protection and it keep you where you don't have to get into too much stuff. All you gotta do is pray, do the Ramadan, read the Quran with your Muslim brothers, and pretty much you got like a nice band of guys, stand up guys, to roll with in jail. So a lot of people that pretty much don't want to roll by yourself, and it's sometimes in some jails it's a smart move. My brother is a Muslim now. He just said he got through doing Ramadan. He said he feel real good. He did 30 days. He said he feel real good, and clean and healthy. and then he about to get ready to get out. So we're gonna see what he on. You know what I'm saying? Now we're gonna see what he on now. But we know he was on the hip hop and he was in the industry. And like I say, these people, the Russians set up their own distribution label called Empire. And now what they're doing is hijacking the American labels artists, uh, and giving them all distribution deals. But then at the same time, when the artists want to say, "I nah, well, I want more money, this and that," with Empire, boom, next thing you know, a month later, 2 months later, they come up dead, like Young Dolph. Young Dolph was making a lot of money, man. He was at straight distro with the Russians, the Russian plug, which is Empire. Just keep that in mind. All of a sudden, bang, he did. They collect $300 million insurance, life insurance on him. To start seeing Triple X. Boom, he get a rob coming out of a boat place or some kind of bike place, and boom, they kill him. They collect $200 million on life insurance on Testosterone 66. These Russians, these Empire, and then Mo 3, and then it's a whole bunch of niggas, man. Aaliyah was even in. I think Aaliyah was signed to him. Aaliyah was even signed to him. Nipsey Hussle was signed to these people. The Empire. It's a couple more. Drop them in the chat. What's that dude name? P something. The one that got shot. That he was sitting down with his girlfriend. They dropped the load. They came and killed him. Light skinned cat. He was with them too. Like everybody high as hell. Everybody on their label just getting smoked, man. And then they collect life insurance on it. And then still some of their publishings. Yeah, the Palestinians. Hey, you got to keep in mind. Okay, so 23, the Beast, right? I know you think you cold when you said that it's owned by Palestinians and not Russians, right? You think you cold, right? The Palestinians are the Afar people. That land is the Afar land. The real Palestinians are Afar people, right? The people that's in that land are Russians, and they really not even Russians. We can get into that too, but I'm just giving you when I say Russian, so you can get a certain type of face in your head, like the Val Putin type of niggas. You know what I'm saying? Right? Hold up. So this nigga coming in, you make sure your hands long enough when you come in to fight with God. Nigga, tell it. So the Palestinians are, keep in mind, King George III, his dad was a Palestinian. You know who the Palestinians are? The Afar people. The people, Nipsey Hussle's people, his dad people, the same people. Actually, Nipsey Hussle and them actually a mix. They mix with the red man. They mix with the pale Arab. The Ethiopians, you see the light-skinned ones, they show you they mix with pale Arab. But the dark-skinned ones, like the Somalians, they mix with the Nako, the big head people. And we can get into like the different mixes. I put a whole series out called the African Ancestry Part 1 through African Ancestry Part 1 through 7, where I break down all the mixes. But the Palestinians are the Afar people. So don't be coming in and talking about, oh, he's not Russian. They not Palestinians. Why they over there fighting on that land? The people they saying that Israelites not even the real people. Now I ain't gonna get too much in there because they mess with your algorithm. But you already know all this. But keep in mind that land is ancient Kemet. That land, Palestine, is really ancient Kemet. And the people, the real ancient Egyptians, which is the Dogons and the Afar people and the Bantu people and the Watusis, those people was in that land. But for the most part, the land you call it Palestine was originally the Afar people land. Now I'm gonna just keep going because I'm gonna keep on going now because that might have messed up my algorithm because they got Bodie for telling that truth. The real Israelites are the Afar people. The same motherfuckers you see on the wall walking with the Ark of the Covenant. You can look at the pictures and how they got their hair done. We can get into it. But like I said, before we got sidetracked, appreciate that though, 23B, for you trying to find something in what we said wrong. Appreciate that though. But next time, Yeah, before you make that type of statement, make sure you do some geographical research on the people that was in that land originally. Yeah, the poor people. Yeah, so like we was saying, they monitor these guys 24 hours a day, non-stop. They watch their accounts. They monitor their phones, uh, and all of it because they don't want them to pull a Nipsey Hussle. Like I said, all these guys, and a lot of these guys were signed to Empire, to the Russians. Let me say it again, the Russians. And if you want to go with say the nigga Palestinian, cool. You know what I'm saying? The nigga not really a Palestinian. Nobody, anybody that say they white and or they pale looking and say they a Palestinian. Now you say, oh, he a Canaanite. Now, see, now if you were to say he's a Canaanite, then we might would let you make it, because the Canaanites did come in that land, right? They came in that land way later though, under the Hyksos, and we ran their ass out. They was in Memphis. We ran them out. Arkmos and Cockmos and them ran them out back into the caves, back into Caucasus Mountains, right? You say I'm lying? All right, Messiah Love. You say I'm lying? Elder is lying. It's all an illusion. What am I lying about, Mr. Love? Before I block you, before I give you show you where I'm from. What am I lying about? You just talking about the skin mask they wear. What skin mask? I ain't saying nothing about no skin mask. I ain't saying nothing about no skin mask. But that's another thing. I can really bust your head on that too, though. I really could go in talking about that if you want me to, on the skin mask, because they've been doing it. Tupac, go pull up a picture called Tupac where they show Tupac got all cuts on him, like he get ready for some kind of they can make your head like it's blew out, all it. That's called anesthetics, I think. See you behind it. Man, let me block this motherfucker. This motherfucker's a dumbass. This sidetrack. Yeah, but they can wear them mad. They show you that in the movies. They do it in the movies. If they could do it in the movie, what makes you think they can't do it in real life? I mean, come on, man. People's fucking slow, bro. The whole nine. Bodysuits. Go watch Big Mama. If they doing it in the movies, they already 40. I'm gonna tell you what Pops told us. Baba, for y'all niggas say, oh yeah, we can't call him Pops, right? I'm gonna tell you what Baba told us, right? He said that if they show it to you in a movie or on a TV screen, they're about 6 levels deeper than that. They're about 40 years ahead of it. So anything you seen on TV, when you see them doing anesthetics on TV, they way ahead of it. These motherfuckers making synthetic drones and robots that look more human than the damn human. You gotta be way about. They making clones. They've been cloning since like 1940s. So who the hell is this person coming in? They must be some kind of agent to reach and shit. No, they ain't. But you can say they crystal though, because they got made from glass. Yeah, man. How long we been on here, man? We're gonna take some questions and answers, man. Drop your question in the chat. Yeah, that's right, Matt. No sweat, Matt. No sweat. The Anunnaki's been cloning. It goes all the way back. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Cloning been going on. Like I said, the Greys been cloning they people. You know what I'm saying? So the Greys is the one that gave it to the government, to these dark space program guys, right? And Hitler now. And Ashtar Command gave some of the information over to Hitler, because Ashtar Command, they do this cloning type thing where they birth their people in tubes, right? So yeah, it's been going on eons, but I'm saying like actual them cloning people in the United States, and maybe even before that, a little bit before that, probably 1930 something. They've been making human clones. So everything they showed you on TV, like I say, they 40 years ahead of that shit. They already, like I say, I remember when watching Star Trek, or it was like one of them shows where they had the Bluetooth, and this way I was like, then what the hell is that? We don't know what it. We thought it was some kind of device that they used. Kind of find out that was a Bluetooth. They've been had it, and the military, a certain group in the military, like these Navy SEAL guys and other secret guys, they've been using all these devices. They got shit now that they can just put like some in their ear, and it just, it's like a you got that too now. The Bluetooth, the call is Bluetooth. They've been had all of this shit. The military been using it 40 years. Right now, you on I think we on 5G, right? 5 gigabytes. The military is on 1 terabyte. They using 1 terabyte on their two-way walkie-talkies. 5 terabytes. These people are already way ahead. They call them satellite phones. Yeah, cloning centers on the ground, on secret islands. And so so what it is a group called, you gotta watch this tape I put out called the Billionaires Boys Club. And so these billionaires, these rich elite, these Bilderbergs, these three Council of 300 guys get together, and they really need more amusement because they did everything. They went to every island, every place you could think of for vacation. They did all the girls and all kind of other stuff that I don't want to talk about that they did. They pretty much exhausted their, what they say was fun, right? They're fun. And so now what they doing? They try to create new shit. Like one thing I told people about, and they still saying I'm crazy about this, but one day it's gonna all come out that off the island of Costa Rica, there's an island, a secret hidden island, where these beings have now went and dug up certain dinosaur bones that they've been collecting, and now took bone marrow off of these dinosaur bones and actually regenerated these beings, cloned these dinosaurs, and pretty much created what they call their own Jurassic Park. And that's when they came out with a movie called Jurassic Park. And you thinking they just put that in the movie? That's just some kind of movie they just thought of off the top. No, they really created that way before the movie came out. These guys, because they billionaires, they got all this money, and they gotta get. They don't spend some of it, going to take most of it in taxes. So let me just put $10 billion over here to invest in reiterating dinosaurs. And I got my own island, so I don't got no laws. I ain't breaking no laws. I ain't breaking maritime laws or nothing. So I can do pretty much what I want on my own island. So I'm paying this nigga $10 billion, put scientists there, and I'm gonna get them to bring back dinosaurs. And then when I get that back, it's actually a brilliant hustle, because when I get them to reiterate these dinosaurs and get them in a controlled environment, I'm gonna charge niggas $200,000 just to go and fly over, and $2 million to go land and visit with a guide. And so eventually I get my money back. So it sounds like it's all a movie, because movies are designed to move you and me. Keep that in mind. Move you and me. You know what I'm saying? And so they put all this shit in movies. You got to keep in mind who run Hollywood, the Dirty Moors. The CIA is the one that sends all the scripts to Hollywood about the UFO movies and make movies about this. If you go look in they putting out a lot of their information, like through Jason Bourne and all these other CIA movies. They put out a lot of all their information and tell you exactly Operation Blackbriar, Operation Watergate. They telling you every fucking thing because they got to. It's part of the alchemy. It's part of the conjure. They got to tell you what they're doing to you before they do it. After they didn't did it. You know what I'm saying? They probably told you before and after. Seemed like to me. Yeah, so they go off the grid, like I say, they cloning. Because what would you do if you could just get another heart? And you don't gotta take medicine. It could just be an identical clone. So go watch a movie called The Island. That's real, man. The movie called The Island, where they clone these people. And billionaires got clones. How you think George W. Bush Sr. was jumping out the plane at 90-something years old with a new heart from his clone? And then I guess they said, oh yeah, they were scared of him because he was the first nigga they was really scared of. Everybody, not just black organizations, anybody that was in the that got on his bad side, Gay Edgar Hoover. Everybody was scared of him. And then after Gay Edgar Hoover, the next guy everybody was scared of is George W. Bush the Senior. George W. Bush Senior. They were scared of him because he was head of CIA for a minute. And you know he was involved with Kennedy and other shit. And he go way back to the Rockefellers because his dad, his great granddad, was one of the right hand mans to the Rockefellers. So the Rockefellers has got some influence with the Cointelpro. The Rockefellers set up the educational system, and the Cointelpro want to keep us down and want to keep us asleep. So the educational system got to be connected with the killer clowns. So therefore, Rockefeller is connected with the killer clowns. Not only was J. Edgar Hoover, not J. Edgar Hoover. Yeah, J. Edgar Hoover was a killer clown too, but I'm talking about not John D. Rockefeller. He was a killer clown from outer space. See, he wasn't just a killer clown. John D. Rockefeller was a killer clown from outer space. You got to watch these guys that wear this top hat. Go back and pull up John D. Rockefeller with the top hat, and in the Knights. At first, the Knights and the Shriners, or the killer clowns, or these guys that walk out crown and know about the mounds, they was in bed together at first, and then some kind of way along the line, they turned against each other. So to make a long story short, all we got to do is stay out their way. Now, if you know you're being watched, Baba knew he was being watched by these guys, so he never did anything. He knew he was being watched. Baba was being watched by the killer clowns 24 hours. They put somebody right next to him. He was watching 24 hours a day. And so why they had to frame and set him up then, if they already had all this information on him? Why did they had to use it the last minute, go and put guns to niggas' head, make niggas rehearse their story, rehearse? They had to have rehearsal to get these people to rehearse their story. Why would they have to do all that if y'all watched him for 30 years and you say he was the guy that did all this shit, and y'all they never got nothing on him? You watched him 24 hours a day for 30 years and you never found nothing on him? Come on, man. These people, they never found nothing on him. Why? Because there wasn't nothing to find on him. He knew they was watching him the whole time. He knew they set Yadalahi up. The killer clowns was right there watching him the whole time, man. I'm telling you, when Yadalahi got killed. And I wouldn't be surprised if they had something to do with it. I'm telling you, man. And they had something to do with IU. And Damian Pryor know about that. Trust and believe. See, I noticed something too. When Uma pointed it out, that he said, "Hey, what about that kid you did touched in Kenya?" That nigga avoided that fucking shit. He avoided that. He changed the subject. So a lot of people, all the shit's coming out now. What you witnessing now is the clean house. The house is being cleansed. It's time to repent. That's what time it is. It's time to repent for these motherfuckers who everybody did wrong, you know what I'm saying? But it's time to repent, you know what I'm saying? For you motherfuckers that think it's a game. So we're at the point where the gospel had went out, and now this is the fall of Mystery Babylon. And now the killer clowns are getting ready to, they de factoed already to Homeland Security, right? But if you gonna be somebody that's gonna make a difference, and you like a rapper, I'm talking to my rappers that be watching, because they watch. It's a whole bunch of rappers that watch us. Trust and believe. If you got a lot of money, if you got over $1 million, overstand you being monitored 24 hours a day by the killer clowns. Now Homeland Security. And now these motherfuckers don't even got to follow you no more. Why? Because they didn't put 10 cameras on your phone. You got 3 cameras on the back, 2 on the front. Then they put a camera on your goddamn on cars, inside your car and outside your car. Right? Then they put a camera on every stoplight, just about, on some posters, on stoves. They got what they call CCTV. They can tap into that, man. Can't get away with shit no more. We almost at the time and the point where it's a movie called Deja Vu. Deja vu means to see things twice, but it's a movie with Denzel Washington called Deja Vu, where they able to catch and go back and catch people for their crimes. It's another movie too with Tom Cruise. I can't remember what that name of that movie is with Tom Cruise, where they catch people before they commit the crime. Right? So we almost if they showed you that shit in the movie, they already got it. If they showed you, because they got cameras, go back and watch Enemy of the State with Will Smith, where they was able to rewind satellite feed. They was able to record the satellite record nonstop. All these satellites record looking down. They was able to record satellite feed. And used to, if you didn't look up, they couldn't make out facial recognition. But now they got this new thing to where they can create a 3D image and they can pull up your facial recognition. These motherfuckers got some shit, man. I'm telling you. If you was able to go into the CIA to one of their operations and see type of technology they got, and you think that they don't know what the fuck going on all over, you guys would be crazy. Your phone, somebody said, "Oh, Lexa's recording," but what about your cell phone? That shit recording too. So your TVs, all your smart TVs, got cameras in them now. So you think you up in there getting booty in front of your TV, you being recorded. Telling you, we don't even got a TV in our room. Telling you. So the TVs got cameras in them. Yeah, so Big Brother is watching pretty much. And keep in mind, before we get out of here, we got to talk about this. Go watch this movie called Eagle Eye, where the supercomputer could control, because the new cars all can be controlled by computer now. They can just hit a button, cut your car if you don't pay your car note. Or they can shut your car down. The police got a thing in their car now, so when the new cars come out, especially electric cars, they can just hit a button and shut your car down. Yeah, so they always listen. They've been what? Why you think I'm the most shadow banned guy on YouTube? I'm supposed to have 1 million subscribers. I'm supposed to be getting at least 10,000 plays on everything. That's I'm at a 10. I'm at a 10% shadow ban. That means they only 10% of the people can see my shit, and then the other 10, then only 10% can like it. Out of that 10%, so I'm at a 10% shadow ban. And niggas think Young L over here just making so much money off YouTube. Nigga, I'm being shadow banned. I got 58, almost 60,000 subscribers, and I only get 5,000 plays. Yeah, right. But niggas that's my students to me, and they got the same less subscribers, but they get on every single fucking thing they put out is go 30,000 plays. Either they buying plays or either they work at some kind of thing to where they ain't being shadow banned. We being shadow banned, especially since we promote Baba, Dr. Malachi Z York. They shadow banning the hell out of us. Why? And we promote Noble Jew Ali, and we promote Marcus Garvey. We promote all the guys the Killer Clowns took down. So you know they shadow banning us. I'm telling you. And we say you blame Black Negro in the killer. We pretty much laced it down. We talking about we lacing you up with telling you about Empress Patrice and Chief Warhorse. Right? We're telling you about these people. Mama Rabbird. We bringing these people, telling you about these people, and trust and believe. They don't like it. So but like I say, like and share our shit. Help us out, man. Share our shit 100 times so we can get this shadow ban off. Like our shit 100 times. Well, you can't like it 100 times, but go. You got 100 tapes you can like. Show us some love, man. Because they shadow banning the hell out of us for trying to uplift our people. So yeah, we out, man. Peace and love and harmony. Divine love. What do?